Hey guys, it'll start in just a minute. That's the YouTube premiere start music. I'm actually in transit, but it's here and I should be back by the time the Q&A is. But if you guys have any questions at any point, just please type them in the chat. I'd love to answer your questions and I hope it's useful for everybody. Thank you guys so much. I'll turn it back on after the music isn't so silly and embarrassing. Hi there, my name is Erin Noxon, and I'm here today for Spark Camp to do a presentation called EFL for Everyone. So this is me, I'm Erin Noxon. I'm a public high school teacher here in Japan. You can find me online everywhere. Usually my name is TESOL Geek, but also you can just Google my name, Erin Noxon, and I'm a Google Certified Innovator, and I'm a Google admin, and I'm a trainer, and all kinds of other fun stuff. But let's just talk about the stuff today, all right? So today I want to talk about one of the classes I teach. Sorry about that. 1 second. Technology is kind of what we call the backbone of and I'm a Google Certified Innovator, and we really focus on speaking and listening. So it makes sense to them. You're learning it because it's part of something that you'll use for your life. So teachers are gatekeepers. So as teachers, we try to model using all of the technology so that the kids understand how to use it, and the kids see that not only are we using it, but that it's a really great thing to use and a good skill, and it makes sense to them too. So the way we blend the technology, because it's a blended learning class, is that the technology is kind of what we call the backbone of the curriculum. It's not just like, oh, here today we're going to use an iPad, and here today we're going to use a Chromebook. They have to use the technology to do the class, even though it is just an English class. Without the tech, my class doesn't work. And we make it very learner-centric, and they could do peer-to-peer learning. We can do all kinds of fun activities because we're using the technology. So like I said, I'm a public high school teacher, and for the longest time, all I had were 40 Chromebooks. However, now, because of the GIGA program and GIGA school program here in Japan, which is really nice, and the aim of the program is to get devices in the hands of every child. We're a BYOD school, and we have iPads, only it's not really exactly BYOD. I like to call it BYSD because it's a school device, because it's managed. So I have two sections to my class. I have a listening class and a speaking class. The speaking class, you can see over there, we have lots of speeches and conversation tests and presentations, but I'm going to focus on some things from my listening class today. We have a teacher station with face-to-face interaction with the teacher. I do a thing called reading practice where we use Google Docs and the voice recognition that happens within Google Docs. And then we also do listening practice using World English Speaker videos from elo.org. I do not work for elo.org, but I'm going to talk about it a whole bunch because they have amazing videos and free resources. So I really love it. So let's talk about the listening class. The first thing we do for our class when we start is we talk about digital citizenship. And if you don't talk about digital citizenship, you are doing yourself a disservice. You need to make sure that at the beginning of every school year, you do a digital citizenship activity with your students. So your students know how they're supposed to work responsibly and critically and productively and all those fun things. They have to be doing that. And I always use the analogy that a digital footprint is like a tattoo. It will be there forever. So some people have really pretty, really nice, they're okay tattoos. And some people have tattoos that they wish they could have removed and maybe they not necessarily can. So please make sure that whatever you put out there is something that you don't mind and not something that you wish you hadn't done. So I also want to, I said I was talk about tips during this. I don't know if you guys know this. These are iPad 1s. If you threw away all your iPad 1s, it's too bad. But if you still have some kicking around, or if you buy some used on like Mercari or eBay or other sites, you can use them as video playing devices for your classroom. Maybe you don't have enough screens for kids to see stuff on, or maybe the Wi-Fi environment isn't that good. You can pick up an iPad 1 for about $10 or $15 US, a little bit cheaper in different places, but you can fill them filled with videos, and then the kids can play them in class. So when I talk about my kids watching videos in classes, we usually use these because you don't even have to have Wi-Fi. It's great. They're just perfect little video play devices. All right, here is a QR code. You can always skip back to this point in the video if you want to scan it or find the website. But all of the worksheets that I'm going to talk about that I made to go with the lo.org videos, this is where you can get all these worksheets from me for free. So go ahead and take it. And all of the forms that I'm going to show you are here for free as well. So you can go ahead and scan this. These are editable, however, because in order for you to get the form, I have to open it as an editable, oh my gosh, I can't say that word, file. So please make a copy of these and don't move them yourself. I'm sure in another like 3 days, they're all going to be gone and messed up. So I'll have to put new ones in this folder. But please don't delete these files. Please just make copies of them and then take your own copies, okay? All right, so let's talk about some of the stuff I want to share with you. So right here is an example Google Classroom that I have. So I can show you one of my reading activities right here. So when the students have a reading activity, I share it to them in Google Classroom. And then they open the reading activity. And I have sentences from the textbook that I use. And I show them how they can open it to read it. And basically, they come in here for their reading activity, and they'll click right next to the sentence. So this is this sentence here. So I'm going to click right here. And I don't know if this is going to work while I'm recording. But basically, we go over to Tools. And it's not going to be here because I'm recording. But usually, it is there. Thank you, Google. Usually, you can turn on voice typing. Let's see if it'll still work even though I'm recording. That's it, period. Good, period. Would you like me to help you fix it, question mark? There you go. So the kids have to read to this document. They have to say all the sentences. They have to repeat each sentence 3 times. This is their reading practice. They can do this in the quiet of their own home, or they can do it during class. Sometimes they get embarrassed doing it during class, and they're louder and more exuberant about it at home. But this provides them with an easy record of their reading practice. Sometimes Google picks up some really crazy words in the beginning, but that helps them to try to speak more clearly to Google so that Google can hear what they're trying to say. All right, another thing that I said I would show are the forms. So let's look at one of the forms. So, all right. So for the forms assignment, they have 2 minutes to do the activity, and I give them one of the Google Forms. So for example, if I assign this, okay. So now this activity is live, so I can see all of my students here in the class. So there's all of my students, and here's their activity. So when they click on the Google form, And these are the ones that I shared to you guys. I have these available in worksheet format. So if you don't have devices in class, you can use the worksheets, but you can also use these Google Forms if you make copies. So as I click through here, all right, so it says, the video title, and then, oops, I didn't mention it. Let me see if I can go back. On this previous screen, I have the link to the video. The videos are all hosted from elo.org on Vimeo. So if you click here, it's going to open the video, and you can see the video on the other side. Here's the elo.org video. You can see the logo for elo.org. And so then usually I have the kid open the video over here. This video is about Diego, and he's there. Hi, Diego. And he's going to talk about music. So we have 5 questions here that you have to answer. Now I have these set so the students must answer something. So I'm going to go ahead here quickly and put in an answer. Okay. Then they go to the next screen, and here is a close activity. So they have to go through the close activity and listen to what he says. And then right here, they'll put in their answers for each one of these. And then when they're finished, they click submit. It'll show them their score. It'll show them which ones they missed and which ones they got correct. It auto grades. And then when you're finished, you can go back in here. Bye, Diego. And right here, it says import grades. When you click import grades and then click import, it will pull all of the grades off of the spreadsheet and put them in here on the chart. Of course, I just assigned this, so there's no grades for them yet. But that's how it works. So it's really, really useful. All right. So those are the kinds of activities I do in class. Now, I also said I was going to talk about some of the other tips and tricks. So the next thing I want to talk about is voice and voice typing. This is a Chrome Store extension. I showed you how I use the voice typing for their reading practice, but not every website has available voice typing. Well, if you put on voice and voice typing, this is a Chrome extension, as long as you're using the Chrome browser, any website you can talk to. So it's really lovely, really convenient. You just add it to your Chrome browser. Okay, so you can go ahead and search for that at the Chrome Web Store. The next thing I want to talk about is Doctopus. If you've never used Doctopus, you come in here on any spreadsheet and you go to Tools and, not Tools, Extensions. And then you can go to Add-ons and you can add them in here, but I've already added it. It's called Doctopus, and you click Launch. Now, I'm sure some people have used this before. Oops, I haven't used it on this account for a while. Yep, that's me. So when you use Doctopus, it's going to ask you all these different permissions. So you have to allow it to access all of your stuff to post for you. Why would you use Doctopus if you have Google Classroom? Well, because within Google Classroom, you can share an individual document to all the students and have it make a copy. But a lot of times I want to share files to groups. And I'm not talking about just 4 or 5 groups. I'm talking about I have more than 300 students and I want to divide the kids all into groups of 4 amongst those 300 students. So I have like more than 60 files that I need to make. I don't have time to set up 60 groups on Google Classroom. It would take me forever. So I use Doctopus. Here in Doctopus, I can create a class roster and then choose a template file and send that template to whichever groups that I want to. It only takes me a few minutes to set up the roster and the kids, and it will automatically distribute the files to the kids I say to, and it will show up in their Google Drive. I love using Doctopus because in Google Classroom, you have to open the thing, set the list of kids, click on which kids you want, then attach the file, and you have to make individual copies of all of those files then. It takes forever, and I don't have the time for that. So Doctopus, when you're making files for groups of students, large numbers of groups of students, Doctopus is going to be the answer for you. So that's another tip or trick. Remote for slides. I closed my slide screen, but let me bring my slides back up here again. All right, when you're going to present your slides, right here, you see where it says on my screen, present with remote. I can use my Android phone as a remote to play my slides. So wherever I go, I don't need one of those little Bluetooth thingies. I just turn on this Chrome extension right up here in the top, remote for slides, and I can control my slides anywhere in the room with my Android phone. I really love this. I use this all the time when I do presentations. Again, it's called remote for slides. All right, the next thing I wanted to show you guys is a thing I love for playing YouTube videos in class. It's called Turn Off the Lights. When you play a YouTube video, if you don't like full screen it, or even if you full screen it, sometimes you get some like extra stuff around it. This will dim it. It will make everything dim around everything but the video. So it's really nice for minimizing the like other videos that you're trying to show, for getting rid of all the extra extraneous stuff and focusing on the video. It's a really nice extension. And I use it a lot because sometimes the big video is too large, but I just really like it. It works really, really well. All right, the next one I want to talk about is Keep Awake. As you can see right now, there's a sunshine over here in the top right-hand corner of my screen. That is to keep my screen lit. It's really hard to make some comments or suggestions about something and then your screen times out on your Chromebook. It's really annoying. If you keep Awake on, it will keep your screen active. It'll make sure that it's always able to be viewed, and your screen won't time out, and then you won't have to re-log in and type your password in front of everyone to get your Chromebook back up again. So Keep Awake is really great. And the last one is, of course, how I'm making this screencast right now. This is called Screencastify. It also installs right here. I can't show you what the panel looks like right now because I'm currently recording my video. But Screencastify is the most beautiful way to make videos, to make screencasts, and to get all your stuff together. It's really great. So those are all the tips and tricks that I wanted to show you. We've got about 5 more minutes here in the Google Meet. If you have any questions or you want to find out anything from me, please ask away. And
Erin, thank you very much.
No worries. I had to race home from another thing, and so I made that a little bit earlier, and I'm so glad it played out. I messed up the beginning there, but I'm glad it all worked.
It was fine.
I was like,
thank you for being prepared and preparing that in advance. So thank you for that. I will. Thanks everyone else as well. I will share a link to the next session as I always do and I'll also stop the recording at this point.
Good deal.
Thank you all for joining us.